Welcome everyone today this afternoon, and thank you very much for being here. I'm so grateful for the audience. Today I'm just going to talk about the paper on dietary interventions of chronic inflammatory diseases in relation to the microbiome, which is also known as your gut. I'm Charisse Gal, and I'm a wellness, health and nutrition coach. And if you'd like to join in with me today in discussing, just hit the join button. Unfortunately, I didn't know that Instagram doesn't allow you to post any photos or videos on the actual slides and let you have slides during your live. So I'm going to put down the bottom my email as well, and also a link to my talk if you wish to come and also join in. Just press join. But if you wish to have a copy of my talk, please send me an email as well. So the agenda today, basically part one will be the plant-based diet effectiveness and role of gut microbiome. But before I start, this talk is also the paper was done by several different scientists in Amsterdam in mid-2021. So the agenda will be plant-based diet effectiveness and the role of the gut microbiome, and also fiber content in plant-based diets and the low carbohydrate diets and long-term effects. I do actually have a client that went on a plant-based diet, and also he added more plant-based high fiber to his diet, and within a couple of months he lost weight. This is also with intermittent fasting as well, with help of the GP or his specialist. He started to lose weight, and he had gut problems as well, and these went away after the first week of intermittent fasting. So in summary, this review provides evidence that high fiber plant-based diets may offer the therapeutic benefits for individuals with chronic inflammatory diseases. And what this means, chronic inflammatory diseases, means also diabetes, also cardiovascular disease, and the diet appears to positively influence the gut microbiome, which could be one of the things that contributes to the effectiveness of having this and reducing inflammation, improving disease in the people, in the testing. However, it's important to know that the limitations of the studies, there is more need for research, because this gut and microbiome research is only a new thing. It's only very recent within the last couple of years. The talk today, we may finish a bit early, so if you have any questions or if you have any queries or any advice for me as well, please feel free to ask any questions or comment during this live. Okay, one of the sample studies in this paper, it explains that in 2021 there was, in all diseases outcomes for low fiber, there was 5% less in the outcome for the low fiber in one of the samples done. And then in the CRP, which is a creatine reactive protein, which is found in your blood, this protein is found in your blood when there's inflammation present in any part of your body, because the microbiome is not just in your gut. We have bacteria all over your body. But this study, systematic review, was done for the not only just based on the gut, but also the chronic disease running through the body. But they decided to do it based purely on the gut microbiome. And I have interest in this too. I remember as a kid, I was like eating a lot of refined foods, and then also my father had three massive heart attacks, and then he was eating too many refined foods, and then he ended up being put on a lot more vegetables. So what we would used to do as kids, and my mum used to cook a lot of vegetables too, this actually helped our diet, and we had more energy as well on a daily basis, because as a kid you run around a lot too. So the proteins, back to the proteins of the last sample I just mentioned, that on the low fiber diet, that actually increased because there was a lot of inflammation present because of lack of fiber, the low fiber study in this sample. So we'll go to part 1. The plant-based diets are effective because this study's actually shown interventions such as vegetarian and vegan diets, and these outperformed other diets like the Mediterranean. So the Mediterranean diet has a lot of healthy fats like olive oil. They have a daily intake of 1 glass of red wine, and Mediterranean people live quite clean as well. They eat a lot of local produce. The Mediterranean diet also consists of meat and a lot more seafood in the diet on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, as well as a lot of grains, and also fruit and fresh fruit, vegetables and legumes. So the vegetarian and vegan actually did outperform the Mediterranean diet in terms of improving the outcomes and modifying the gut microbiome, which is such a great thing. The whole diet changes are more effective because by increasing fiber intake, the fiber consumption through a comprehensive change in the entire diet was found to have more beneficial effects compared to taking fiber as a supplement. And what I mean about taking fiber as a supplement, like psyllium husk and the stuff you can buy in the chemist or the supermarket, like Metamucil, and also in pill form as well. This study basically said that the vegans and vegetarian diet outperformed the nutritional, and also helped the gut heal in terms of inflammation over a period of time when it was during the study. So so the whole diet changes are pretty much more effective when you're just on the vegetable and plant-based. The role of the gut microbiome, pretty much. This passage suggests that modifications to the gut microbiome might be an important factor in the observed improvement in diseases, and basically the disease-specific outcomes after dietary interventions are done. Specifically, studies with a positive disease response showed an increase in number of bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids. Now, these short-chain fatty acids are also found in fruits, vegetables, legumes, which may contribute to anti-inflammatory effects. So part 2, let's talk about fiber content in plant-based diets. generally the intake of fiber increases as a person goes from eating a healthy, varied diet, like with meat, dairy, fruit, veg, legumes and grains, to just plant-based. And plant-based being, you've got your soy, you've got soy products, you've also got eggs, because vegetarians also eat eggs and dairy as well. And this basically had really good clinical benefits in managing the inflammatory diseases such as type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and also rheumatoid arthritis. This is mentioned in the review of this paper also. And low carbohydrate diets and type 2 diabetes. Let's talk about this. The passage also discusses the use of low carbohydrate diet. So low carbohydrates mean no legumes, no beans, no bread, no grains, and also no starchy foods or vegetables or fruit. These diets kind of often restrict things. They restrict, even though they restrict fruits and vegetables that are high in fiber, they restrict things, it's restrictive, and you're cutting out a lot of the nutrient dense things that you're eating. So your body's not getting enough nutrients or minerals it does need. While low carb diets might be effective in people with type 2 diabetes, in 12 months, it was in the short term, 12 months, it's increased their cardiovascular disease and can also cause death. So this is what this research paper also says. So in general, as a nutrition and health and wellness coach, I do feel that if you do cut out anything, your body will react to it because it's not used to having things lacking in the body. I did go on a low carbohydrate keto diet at one stage, and I did it for a while, did it for months, but it wasn't sustainable for me. And I did feel I felt kind of tired at times, and then I couldn't sleep at night properly as well. My body was kind of out of whack. So I don't recommend anyone cutting anything out. If you do happen to want to go onto some sort of plant-based, or you want to change your diet, I would suggest go to your nutritionist or licensed specialist to go and ask them, look, I want to go on this type of diet. How will it benefit me, and what effects will it have on my body long term? Because what we're looking at here, guys, is nutrient-dense, fiber-rich foods that help you to live longer. And this is what this paper was about. It was talking about inflammatory diseases that, that causes massive things in your body to be make you sick, so your gut's inflamed. That's not good. Things can't get absorbed into your body, and you end up getting a disease, or you end up getting something from it that may have a long-term effect, and then you can't come back from that. So these long-term effects too, it's noted that the benefits of a low-carb diet for type 2 diabetes, as I said, it just goes after 12 months. They said while they may provide improvement, they may be not the best long-term sustainable solution. like especially consider the associated risk of heart disease and cardiovascular. Oh, also I just wanted to mention that not only is a high fiber diet good for you, and plant diet. So again, go to your specialist or your GP, anyone that's taking care of you. Get a referral for a nutritionist or dietitian. But you can match this with, and I know I've done this with my clients, it's not only about high fiber diets or the type of foods, it's also about movement. So you pair that with movement as well, and then you'll have some sort of routine go on. And that's what was important to my clients as well, that they wanted to perform better while exercising. They wanted more energy. They didn't want to be puffed anymore. You know, my last client was quite overweight, and now they have actually dropped a lot of weight in the last 6 months by doing a routine. So out of the 11 studies reviewed, only 2 indicated significant therapeutic benefits from fiber supplementation. I don't know why people go get like supplements for fiber when we can get it out of the food naturally. You know, a lot of this thing in the Western world today, we're quite rushed all the time. So sometimes convenience and things that are quicker are not actually healthier for you. I think all the time as a wellness coach, long-term benefits for things, you know, to help you live longer, help you be your healthier self, authentic self, you know. And as I keep saying, making the changes are very hard. But in the long run, it will benefit you to take the small changes and take a small little risk of helping yourself, being healthily accountable as well for the longevity of your body and your mind together, as well as your gut. So the whole thing, it will only benefit you. So also the use of fiber-rich whole foods. Interesting, the 2 studies that did show therapeutic benefits used fiber-rich whole foods for supplementation. For example, example of these whole foods include barley, the dehydrated nopal, chia seeds, and inulin. Inulin is a type of fiber-rich food. It also, it's quite low carb as well. Isolated fiber supplements such as they're also found in garlic and barley and artichokes, and they're found in foods like legumes, hummus and cashews. Inulin's also highly found in chicory root, by the way, and that's another good fiber supplement, is also psyllium, but I would suggest trying to get the psyllium out of your food, your natural raw foods, rather than just always having something quick and easy to have, you know. And that's also when meal prep comes in. You prep with high fiber foods for the week. That's what my clients, I actually do that too, and you actually do save money by doing that. The greater impact of whole food based interventions. The whole food based high fiber interventions were found to have greater impact on enhancing disease specific outcomes compared to the isolated fiber supplements. This suggests that factors other than just fiber may be contributing to the therapeutic benefits of these high fiber diets. And then lastly, psyllium fiber supplementation. However, it's worth noting that one study by King, which you'll see in my talk if you do wish to have it, and it's also in the paper, and I'll leave the link here below, found that daily supplementation of 25 to 30 grams of psyllium fiber was equally effective as a high fiber diet in producing the therapeutic benefits. So what this study is actually saying is that this high fiber, out of 11 studies and all this whole paper, the scientists found that you have a plant-based diet pretty much, or a vegetarian diet, which you can include dairy and eggs into as well. It run the Mediterranean diet. So, you know, and I do think in today's world that if it works for you, just let it work. Just let it work. But I don't know if anyone's got any questions. This is going to be a live recording as well. It'll be recorded. So if you wish to have a copy or look at it later, you can. Email me at wellness@outlook.com for a copy of my talk that I've done on this paper, and I'll put the link down the bottom. Thanks guys for attending. Any questions as well, just let me know.